Hey dolls, welcome back to your royal BFF, the People's Duchess. How you doing? How's life? Are you buried under the snow like we are over here? It is literally -9 degrees right now in Ottawa, and words don't even suffice, but we're happy to be here. We're thinking warm thoughts. And speaking of warm thoughts, Meghan's new drop already sold out, of course, within minutes. Some reports as early as 15 minutes after dropping, others 20 minutes, whatever the case might be, they gone, y'all. She has individual bars that are all sold out, and then she has this box set of four that is also sold out. She has a couple other sets that are like the bar of chocolate and the flour sprinkles, or the bar of chocolate and the jam and the chocolate set, this raspberry jam and chocolate set that's sold out. Like, man, the only thing that's left is the Valentine's Day edit and then the white chocolate with the sprinkles. I want to congratulate Meghan on this drop. She has set a royal record. Well, to be fair, she has set multiple records. Her and Harry both have like a legitimate world record for the most followers gained in 24 hours on their Instagram. They hold a number of royal records. First of all, they're the first royals to ever fall in love and actually want to be married to each other in that family. But also, she is the most financially stable royal coming into the family. She's obviously and clearly the most educated royal. She is the most fashionable royal. That is gauged by the fact that the Meghan effect is worldwide, global, something that you can measure in data that no other royal has since Diana. She's the most ambitious royal in that she's the only former working royal at this point, but she's the only royal who had come in with a successful career. A lot of people like to say that Sophie Wessex had a successful PR career before she entered the royal family, but show me the proof. Show me the proof of that. I need to see where she was actually successful. I need to see the projects and the PR stuff that she did beforehand to say that she was a successful PR person, because I don't know anything about that. I don't see anything about that. I don't know anything about that. Meghan holds several records, but this particular drop has solidified her as the most entrepreneurial royal in that family, because we know that she's not the only one. Charles sells stuff at Highgrove. Queen Elizabeth sold stuff with her, name and face and likeness on it. They weren't this successful. For his station, right? For his whole, I'm a king, I'm the king of England. Highgrove only brings in £6 million a year. And we know from the data that Meghan's jam alone has completely eclipsed that, with £27 million sold with just that one jam product. So, yeah. And if we're being completely real here, she's the only self-sufficient member of the royal family to have ever walked through those doors. Every one of them survive off of the taxpayers' dime. Now, yes, the York girls and the Tyndalls have 9 to 5s. However, they are subsidized by the royal family. I don't know that those jobs pay them the way that they need to be paid to live the way that they live. Who knows? I'm not in their business. I'm not in their finances. I don't know. But none of them have ever been as independent as Meghan. Meghan has been completely independent her entire life. So that is a record in this family. She's shattered so many different records, and this new drop going viral before it even dropped and then selling out in minutes again, she has now proven that she's the most accomplished member of that family ever. Well, since the Queen, I guess, and if you count being alive and reigning for 70 years an accomplishment, then okay. But some people, like myself, couldn't care less about none of that shit. This is what I consider a true accomplishment to actually be celebrated. Something that you've actually done with your own two hands and you can be proud of, not just just a legacy of colonization nonsense and hiding your PDF son from the authorities. But that's neither here nor there. And also think about it in just a business perspective. You launch a product and less than a year later, you're viral, you're selling out, you're on top, $1 million purchase orders. Not even a year into her launching, right? She launched as ever last summer. Can you imagine? I just can't imagine what's going through her head right now. Like, she probably always knew that she would be successful like this. She works extremely hard. She's very ambitious. But can you imagine this level of success and the quickness of this success clearly attributed to who she is as a person? Because let's be honest, other royals sell things. Queen Elizabeth sold a lot of products: gin, ketchup, jams, all the things. And Charles obviously has his products as well. And not to compare or anything like that, but there's just no comparison here. Meghan has set not just a record, but a new bar, a new royal standard. She really has set it from the time she walked in there. I mean, we saw royal ladies mimicking everything about her clothes, her hair, her shoes. We saw the cut and paste of it all. But this is so impressive. This is so well deserved. I am so happy for the Duchess of Sussex, having come out of a really tough situation and proven that she has the fortitude, the staying power, and the smarts to not only be happy again, but thrive, which is what she was talking about in that interview with ITV down there in South Africa. It's not enough to just survive. You have to be happy. You have to thrive. And I don't know what else says I'm thriving and doing well than sold out collection after sold out collection. Partnerships up the wazoo. You know, people are beating down her doors every day to work with her on one thing or the other. We're all waiting for the Vogue cover. We're all waiting for, her being announced as the director of this or that. We're all waiting for the Nobel. Like, her and Harry together are just such an unstoppable duo. But Meghan in particular, with these products and with how popular they are, I just can't even imagine what's going through her head right now. Like, wow, this is crazy. I get goosebumps every time I sell something on my shop, and I can't even imagine what it feels like to sell hundreds of thousands of things in just a few minutes, Child, she's really setting those records. And I know it's hard for you racists and haters out there, but you know what? You're just going to have to get used to this, because you are actually to thank for a portion of this. Meghan doesn't market. She doesn't advertise. She doesn't do nothing. All she does is throw up a couple Instagram posts and you guys take care of the rest. But the fact of the matter is, it pushes her so heavily into that SEO that you can't really avoid the fact that she has products launching. You cannot avoid it. And I don't care what you say, you are secretly buying and really enjoying her products. Jan Blobfish Moore took herself out there to Godmother's and pretended like she didn't have an empty suitcase when she walked in there, and left up out of there with probably everything on that table. Like, you can't tell me that they didn't send her over there with like $1,000 and tell her to stock up as much as she could. She's probably right now enjoying this raspberry spread, the strawberry spread on some dry scones that she made over tea. Like, you can't tell me that, because it can't possibly just be squatties purchasing all this stuff. It isn't. Her clothes get sold out. That's not all squatties. That's y'all too. Stop lying. Compartes is an amazing company, by the way. If you guys don't know about Compartes, it is a gourmet chocolatier, worldwide, world famous, very beloved, but they're an LA-based brand. They're an LA-based hometown hero type of brand. They make all of these chocolates by hand. They have over 350 flavors, and they make them all by hand to preserve the quality of everything. So when you saw Meghan hand pouring that chocolate into the mold and the owner sprinkling over the finishing, they actually do that. Isn't that crazy? And the creations that they come up with are so eye-catching, so beautiful. They really make great gifts. I am now a fan of Compartes because of this collaboration I've been put onto them. And look at this. Like, who wouldn't love to receive one of these boxes of chocolates? They're so fancy and so decadent and so delicious looking. You know how you eat with your eyes first? This is like a feast for the eyes. And Meghan and Compartes, I'm just so proud of them. Oh, and they also do like a lot of charitable things in and around LA. They have this like I Love LA bar, which the proceeds from that bar go to fighting wildfires and other Los Angeles-based charity endeavors. So, of course, Meghan worked with them. Of course, she partnered with them. Of course, it makes complete sense. And it's not weird. You know what I mean? Like, she is so not weird or awkward with people because she's a princess and a duchess and all those things. She understands that that is just her designation. And that's what makes her so endearing and exciting to people. Like, oh, I've never met a princess before. What's this like? And then you meet her and she's like your homegirl, from around the way. Like, Meghan is such an around the way girl, and that's very endearing. And I think that also really separates her and her success from that of anything the royals try to claim. People do not regard the royals in this way. They give them deference because of their status, but ultimately that's because they want benefits. They want to be elevated as well if they defer to the royals. I mean, just looking at, what's her face, walking into that ugly room in Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace, wherever she went to last week in that red suit, talking to the lionesses as if she could at all identify with elite athletes who dedicate their lives to being the best at something and working really hard at something. She walks into a room and she's the special guest. She's the guest of honor just because. No reason. God said this. She has diamond blood. That's why. They defer to her, even though they are the D1 elites in that room, which is... man, couldn't be me. I don't know. I'm taking this as a very personal victory. I love that she is thriving. I love that they are both doing their thing. We're obviously all looking forward to Harry's IAPP speech. He did a forward for the Okavango Delta. Like, they're unstoppable.